Hi guys, it's me Ty here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to test your engine coolant temperature sensor too. See, I've had this 2008 Honda Fit for 4 years now, and ever since I bought it, it had the P2185 code, which is your engine coolant temperature sensor 2 circuit voltage high. And according to the service manual, sensor 2, that is the one that is located on the bottom right side of your radiator. And then if it would have been sensor 1 is located up on the engine. I think it's kind of like behind the valve covers in that area there. But I never had that one. And I was really worried about it because I was like, shoot, is it gonna indicate if it's the engine's overheating or anything? And the thing about it with this car is in the mornings, ever since I've always bought it, you fire it up and the blue light on the dash comes on and it says engine coolant temperature low. So you have one sensor for telling when it's cold, and then I believe another sensor here, which is the one on the radiator, that tells you if you're overheating. And when I bought the car, it actually came with a spare radiator with that sensor in it. So I went ahead and I stole that one out of that spare radiator, and I threw that sensor up in there, but the code would still not clear. And I drove it for 4 years like that. And over that time, probably about 2 years into it, I threw a serpentine belt off on it. The idler pulley had failed, and it just locked up for no reason. And while I was driving, I got the engine coolant temperature sensor high light on the dash. And there, with these 2008 Honda Fits, if your if your engine overheats, you will not get an audible alarm. These cars do not have that. They just have the dummy light on the dash, so you better be paying attention. And the same with my 2005 Mustang there. When I overheated the engine like that too, I blew the thermostat housing. That cracked on me and drained all the coolant out. Thank God I looked down and saw that light on because there was no audible alarms. Whereas with my 2007 Buick Lucerne car, when that lost coolant, that one, the light came on the dash and an audible alarm was just about breaking your eardrums, and messages coming across the screen that pull the car over and shut it down and everything. So just know what to expect. So finally, after 4 years here, I was thinking, I was like, man, I really would like to get that fixed. So I looked in the service manual for this car here, and it says that you're supposed to go ahead and disconnect that the wire or the connector to that coolant temperature sensor on the bottom of your radiator, and go ahead and turn the ignition key on and test for voltage. And I went ahead and I tested for voltage on one of the leads, and it showed 5.00 right on the money. And and according to the service manual, it says if you get 4.92 volts or higher, it means that there's a trouble in your wiring, or it could be the ECM or PCM. It's not a sensor issue. So I instantly knew that it should be like that, but I still wanted to test my sensor, and I reached up in there with my ohm meter, and before I ever stuck my ohm meter up in there, because you can't really see where your leads are, I went ahead and I tested continuity between just the two leads, and it showed 0.02 ohms. So when I put it up in there, there's a few times it showed 0.02, and I was like, oh, I know those two leads are touching each other. So I moved it around until it didn't show that. It would show open or whatever, and I got it to the point where it showed 1.902 kilo ohms. And so then I knew the resistance of my sensor there, and I Googled it. And according to Google, for these Honda Fits and Hondas in general, you want a good sensor will read 1 to 3 ohms, or 1 to 3 kilo ohms. And I believe when it's, when it's cold, it'll show that 1 to 3. But but as the temperature of your engine coolant rises, it will actually go down. Then it'll be 1 to 2 kilo ohms, which I was still good there. And I mean, this is like an 87-degree day here, so I'm still below that 2, so 1.902. The second sensor is perfectly good, because I was honestly thinking about buying another sensor, but I knew that this car, it shows if the engine's cold, and it all works if if the engine's overheating, which it proved to itself. So I am not going to do any more testing on it, but I will show you guys how I did my testing on it. Okay, so whenever I need a good ground, I never connect to the frame, because I tried doing that with this here and I was showing 0. I always take these like 20-foot long booster cables I've had since the mid 2000s, and I bought these at like a hardware store or whatever, and these are really heavy duty. These are for starting tractors and semis. They're like 4 gauge, so get something like that's like 10 gauge or 4 gauge, and these will be so great for testing if you have voltage at the front of a pickup truck or the rear of a pickup truck. So we're going to go underneath the car here, and on the passenger side here is where the coolant temperature sensor is, and it's in the bottom of the radiator. And this is my setup here, you guys, that I have a Fluke 87 3 multimeter that I've had since college, and I got the alligator clips on it, and I go ahead and I take the negative one here and I hooked it onto the one negative battery cable. Is hooked over there, and that's all I need to. And then I would hook it on. I hooked it onto the black negative one there, onto the copper of it. So there I got my good ground. And then I put the thinnest darn paper clip I could find, you guys, and that's how I tested the the connectors going to back to the main wiring harness. So crawling up underneath it here. This is your AC compressor right here, and your engine oil filter right here, and right between the AC compressor and the engine oil filter is your coolant temperature sensor. And on my car it is white. Let's see if I can, there it is. Okay, so that's it, you guys. And when you guys are looking on eBay or any place trying to order these sensors, that's what this one looks like. It's kind of got the 2 devil horns up on the top of it, and then it's got the tab, or the 2 prongs coming out the side there, and then it's also got a really fat connector up on top too. I'm sure it's, yep, there you can kind of see it. And then this is your electrical connector here. That's like that too, so that'll be that shape. Whereas your other sensor that is up on the engine, your other coolant temperature sensor, because eBay and Napa and all them, they will not tell you the difference between the 2 coolant sensors. But that one has an oval in the middle of it. It doesn't have the happy face like that on it. So, like I said, what I did first is I went ahead and I actually went ahead and I had the engine key off first, and I stuck the paper clip in each one, and one just showed 0 and the other one showed 0 on there. And then I turned the ignition key on, and the one side showed 0, and then the other one showed 5.00 volts, which, like I said, that's according to the service manual, that's when you want to start checking your wiring on your vehicle. And like I said, I'm not worried about it because I already overheated this engine, and the car did a great job of the light coming on telling me that the engine was overheating to shut it down. So if I had 0 voltage on it with the key on, then I would be very worried. Then I would think that it might not tell you that your engine is overheating. So this just gives me peace of mind about this, you guys. So if you guys have this issue of that code, let's see, I'll get my notes here and make sure of everything here. But yeah. Yeah, I just have my notes here. So yeah, that's what I did, you guys. And to get that wire disconnected, it is kind of a pain in the butt. I think I used the pliers or whatever to press down the tab on the back of it, because when you're looking at it, you can see that it's got to lift up over that big fat thing there. So, but yeah, I won't be buying a new sensor for it, you guys. I won't have to buy a new O-ring that goes on that sensor, and I won't have to buy a radiator. Oh, I shouldn't have to buy a radiator cap. Somebody in one of the comment sections was saying that a guy had said that he had that code one time, and he went ahead and he replaced the radiator cap on, and that fixed it. But that's the only time I've ever heard of it. And your radiator caps for these, you guys, it has to say the 1.1 on it, or else you are getting the wrong radiator cap. And this one here, that's whatever brand this thing is. And well, this is the original one. It's still all the Japanese writing on it, because this car is not American. My car was actually manufactured in Japan and shipped over to the United States back in 2008. So that's what that is. If you guys ever have